What up, homies? It's your boy Stev, and welcome to the bracket. Back in 2020, like most of the world, me and Ash didn't have a lot going on, so we decided to make a list of the 130 greatest movies of all time and pit them against each other, tournament style, to see which ones came out on top. We judged them against each other in 5 categories: production, writing, acting, originality, and rewatchability. Whichever movie took the most categories moved on. Don't get me wrong, it was rarely unanimous between us, but it was always a lot of fun. Just a heads up, we did record these a few years ago, so if the timeline feels a bit weird, that's why. If you want to check out the list of the 130 movies, I'll put a link to our website in the description below. So without further ado, let's all go back to the land of 2020, where all we did was sit at home, drink excessively, and watch flicks. Enjoy.
Can you do an impersonation of Megan Mullally?
No.
Do you know who that is?
Yeah,
Yeah.
She kind of talks like this! I don't know, not really.
Yeah, never mind. Okay.
Why?
I was hoping you could.
What the fuck? Why?
None of your business. Back off my fun
trying not to-
facts, motherfucker.
Yeah, she just kind of talks like this.
Yeah, where she's like, Grace! But
Gracie!
both of our voices are way too deep.
Yeah,
I know. Apparently it's not a real voice.
I know, I heard that too. Well, she's in fucking Parks and Rec. She plays Tammy number 2.
She what?
She plays Tammy number 2. You said you're watching Parks and Rec? Yeah.
Oh, yeah, she is.
So that's her real voice.
That's his ex-wife.
And that's his wife in real life as well. Like in real life, they're married.
Oh my god.
Which is funny. Yeah.
I can't even handle this. Ron Swanson, he is so funny. When I see him, he did a the Wings Hot Ones, and he didn't have his mustache.
Yeah.
Fuck me up.
Hey, you grumpy kills.
I used to say that all the time. You being grumpy kills. I used to say that all the time when this movie came out. But then again, I was like younger, so it kind of made more sense. But
Now you're an adult saying that.
now I'm like, no, you're grumpy kills. No, I say just keep swimming more than I should. I go, oh, oh, like that part where she does that. And then a couple of weeks ago, I probably did the whale thing, I think it was a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
I was like, come here. And I was trying to do the whale talk. It's so stupid. Anyways.
So, Finding Nemo is one of our movies this week. I'm of the opinion that these are probably... So, we already did Toy Story.
Yeah.
So, I mean... Finding Nemo versus WALL-E.
This is the battle of probably the 2 best Pixar movies.
Yes. Like, they far exceed... Like, they excel beyond... just being the best animated movies.
Right.
They're fucking the best. They're 2 really, really fucking good movies.
These movies are insane.
So,
Like, they're way too intense.
so what'd you think?
So, I have seen both,
Yeah.
obviously. Finding Nemo is like in like a normal rotation for me. I see it more than I should.
Yeah.
WALL-E I saw a few years ago, but my boyfriend hasn't. And he watched it. And he's not like a sensitive, kind of like, I'm going to tell you my emotions. But there are times when he went, oh, oh, oh. And then there's like a certain part where he like drives and he accidentally crushes the cockroach. And Dylan goes, oh.
I love it. And then
He goes backwards.
He's like, he points behind him and the thing's like, okay.
I'll go behind you. But like, that is how cute this movie was. But he would visibly go, oh, and like, crushed the cockroach, and then reversed, and he went behind me. Yeah.
Oh, man.
I loved these movies. I love both of them. I love one more than the other, but I love both of them.
Okay.
How do you feel?
Interesting question. I have not seen either of these movies in years, to be honest with you.
Really?
Yeah, like, I've actually weirdly watched other Pixar movies, recently.
Okay.
Ever since Disney Plus started, I've been watching like just random Disney movies I haven't seen in forever. And I've kind of weirdly avoided these 2 only because up until that point, these 2 were like the newest I've seen. Do you see what I'm saying? So like I went back and watched like Cars. I haven't watched fucking Cars since it was in theaters. Do you know what I mean?
Actually, Cars is in this episode, which is funny you said that, but yeah.
Oh yeah.
Go ahead.
So
I haven't seen Cars since it came out.
Right. Same with Brave. I think I watched that once in theaters.
I haven't even seen Brave yet.
Do you know what I mean?
Moana, I haven't seen.
Yeah. Well, that was more. Yeah, but still, like
I haven't seen Tangled. Are those all Pixar?
these are Disney. Those are Disney. But like Brave is Pixar. Monsters University.
I haven't seen Monsters. I have seen Monsters Inc. Obviously.
So yeah, so stuff like that. So going back and watching these, I'm like, oh, good Pixar movies. I forgot about these. Like they're fantastic. It's actually funny. I got a funny story about Finding Nemo. I remember seeing this movie. I was probably 14 years old, and I got money for my birthday. Yeah, and my buddy. So I convinced my buddy to go see it with me, and he was not having it. Here's the thing.
Which no man wants to see.
Here's the thing. We were both like 14, and the fucking new Matrix movie came out. So not the first movie, the Matrix movie, but the second one. So he really wanted to see the second Matrix movie, and I really wanted to see Finding Nemo. It ended up taking me. I had to pay for his ticket and buy him popcorn.
Oh my god!
To go see Finding Nemo with me. So he's like, all right. So we did. So we're watching this movie, and it gets to the part where they're initiating shark fin, or shark bait, whatever. Fucking
shark bait.
Yeah, and the fucking power goes off in the theater for like maybe 5 minutes. Power goes off. Okay, and then like somebody comes in. Oh, technical difficulties. Give me a second. Power comes back on. Cool. We watch the rest of the movie. Fine. We're walking out. They give us free passes to another movie because the power went out.
No way.
We immediately went and saw the Matrix.
Went to go see Matrix, obviously.
Immediately went and saw the Matrix.
Man, your buddy fucking lucked out. He was like, fuck, he didn't have to pay for either of them.
So that was pretty cool. But
that sucks though, because you already ate all your popcorn. You have to go get more.
Yeah, that's true. I think that was back in the day though when they still gave like free refills and shit though. So
those were good times,
right?
Yeah, they don't do that anymore.
No,
they used to do free refills on popcorn too.
Yeah.
Didn't they?
Yeah, it had to be like a large or something.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Back in the day, kids.
It had to be enough popcorn to where you would never fucking want to get it refilled. Because, like, after eating a whole large popcorn, your stomach is like, ugh. Like,
you're misjudging how chubby I am, my friend. If I have to sit through another movie, I could easily...
Oh, me too. I used to do that too. Like, I used to do... So they refilled only large drinks at the theater by our house. And I would go see 3 movies a day. And
how many?
Like, we'll say 3 movies.
Holy fuck.
Yeah, I used to do this thing where I would at least do 2 movies, but I would make it where one movie is super intellectual and one movie's really stupid. Do you know what I mean? Like,
so you have to pay attention to the first one, but then
right? And then the other one I could just like, and like, I'll like bring a flask with me, and like the second one I'll like add some whiskey to the drink. You know what I mean? So like, example, I went and saw, and I'm pretty sure these were the double. I went and saw Inception.
Whoa.
And then I went and saw, right? And then I went and saw Predators. Do you know what I mean? Just dumb Predators with Inception. And then another one I remember was Cloud Atlas. And then I went and saw it with Man with the Iron Fist. Just stuff like that. I'm like,
Predators isn't I thought you meant a dumb, funny movie, but you mean like
just a dumb, like, I don't have to think.
I don't have to think about it too hard.
Yeah, just like...
I heard Predators was good. That's the one against aliens?
No. Predators is the one with Adrian Brody, and it takes place like on the planet, on the Predator home planet.
I haven't seen it.
It's pretty good, but either way.
Anyways, so these 2 movies are fantastic.
Yeah, they're both really fucking good. So, yeah. So anyway, needless to say, I fucking really like Finding Nemo. Wall-E was the first time I watched a Pixar movie, and I thought out loud afterwards, this movie should get Best Picture. Like, it's really fucking good.
Right.
Like, it's a really good fucking movie. What did you think of them adding live action actors to Wall-E? What'd you think of that? It was only they show like the movie, him watching the movie, and then they show like the President of the United States.
And Holly Dolly or whatever.
Yeah, but they're played by real people. Like, what did you think of that?
I didn't mind it.
Okay.
You obviously did, apparently.
No, I didn't mind it either, actually.
I can't think of the actor's name who's the president.
Fred Willard?
Fred sounded so familiar. Yeah, he's from Anchorman.
Yeah, I'm so surprised you said Anchorman before you said Modern Family. Modern Family seems to be your go-to.
Oh, he was in Modern Family.
He's Phil's dad.
He was Phil's dad. Yeah. No. Sorry, the boss. I said anyways.
But
and the bottle is gone and they're fucked up laughing.
You have to drink it, Mr. Mosby. She said, but
It's the rules. That did not bother me. I had a lot of things that like didn't add up for me in Wall-E.
Okay.
That wasn't one of them.
Okay. Well
which
spoilers?
we can't really say.
Okay.
I can say a couple of things. First off, let's give it to this fucking director, Andrew Stanton.
Yeah, who did both of them.
Who did both of them.
Yeah.
On top of that, he was the writer for Toy Story, A Bug's Life, Monsters, Inc., Ratatouille, and a bunch of others.
Yeah.
Ratatouille is one of my favorite Disney movies, or Pixar movies, whatever it is.
It's very good. So apparently, the 4 guys who created Pixar, he was one of them, they got together. So I think they all worked for Disney or something, but they all decided to make their own company. So they all had lunch together, and they each pitched an idea for a movie.
Okay.
One of them was Toy Story. One of them was Monsters Incorporated. One of them was A Bug's Life, and the 4th one was Wall-E. So it's very. They pitched it, and then they're like, "All right, let's do Toy Story first." And then they made that, and then what's next?
So when did Disney own Pixar, and at what movie?
I believe it was Toy Story.
Because it fucks me up that Disney owns Pixar, but yet they're 2 different companies.
Yeah. I want to say they made a couple of shorts first. I don't know if it was part of it. I don't know if it was part of Disney when it made A Bug's Life. But it must have been because it was with Toy Story. Toy Story was the first one. It's the
budget, though. That's what I'm afraid of.
Yeah.
I personally don't think they would have had the budgets they can. Like, Wall-E's budget was $180 million.
Yeah, but they're making $1 billion a movie, so they're fucking.
But they weren't anything yet. They was just Pixar.
That's true.
So we're talking about Toy Story.
I don't know how they actually got involved with Disney.
So Disney probably went, oh fuck, they're gonna come after us with the exact same style.
Yeah, but
they're gonna
better.
Fuck us, and they have better content, more relatable. Perfect word, relatable.
Yeah, 100%.
Because Wall-E has to be one of the first movies where they actually showed a fucking problem. This is a realistic fucking problem, kids. Learn about it now.
Yeah, I actually really like that it's a very optimistic take on a really, really serious problem. That is, right. I mean, we'll get more to it in spoilers, but like, it gets really optimistic.
Whereas like there is no grass. That's what Eve is doing.
Yeah,
He's looking for
anything,
grass. Anything.
Yeah.
And it's so sad that this guy Wall-E has been fucking on this earth for I can't say how many years because it comes later.
Yeah.
But just sitting there doing the same thing over and over and over every day. And it's sad. But this is unfortunately still a problem to this day.
Yeah.
It's like garbage will always, but never mind. So anyways.
How about we just rate them and then we'll just fucking talk.
Yeah, everyone, by the way, get comfy and go to the bathroom because it's going to be a long one. Because I already told him I'm like scrolling with the stuff I got to say. So, you know what? Let's do that.
Okay.
So.
I actually have no idea how this is going to turn out.
Neither do I.
I don't know. So.
This is very hard because production is the same for me.
I think Wall-E deserves it.
So I can tell you, Nemo's budget was $94 million. And Wall-E's was $180.
That surprises me that it was so much, but
I think Nemo should be the production.
Really?
When you look close up and the fish are swimming, you can see gills are shiny. You can see the specks are in the water.
Water looks like water. Like, it looks perfect.
I get Wall-E. There's so much in every scene.
I personally think Wall-E deserves production. I do think, if you want to do like exchanging.
We can split, it's fun.
I think, we'll split it up. Okay. So I think we'll split.
Do you want to split?
Yeah. So P canceled out.
Right.
No P.
Okay. So the next one is originality.
I think Wall-E deserves that.
Both of us went, You know what? I will give it to Wall-E.
Okay.
I will, even though there was never really a fish movie like that.
No, but I mean, there's a movie where animals talking to each other, like they're.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. Okay. So let's give it originality. Writing.
Finding Nemo, for sure.
Finding Nemo.
For sure.
That movie is fucking
And I'll
funny.
get into it so hard, but like...
I laugh out loud in Finding Nemo.
Every single fucking left turn they take, I would not see it coming. Even watching it today, I was like, how did I not remember having this shit? It's so funny. Like, but okay, writing for sure. So tie game there. Acting.
I give it to Nemo.
I give it to Nemo too, definitely.
And rewatchability, I give it to Nemo.
I give it to Nemo as well. So
Find Nemo won just by a fucking...
Yeah.
Because the first one was canceled.
Yeah.
So... Wow. WALL-E, I really enjoy WALL-E. I feel it's very hard for me to like especially get emotional. I know we talked about all the movies we watched so far. I only cried once.
Yeah.
And it was those fucking girl lions in The Lion King. That scene got me. But like, WALL-E got me probably 3 separate times where I was like, oh shit,
yeah.
I might cry. And I'm not spoiling. It's not like it's sad or happy. I'm not saying anything.
Well, the first
like Finding Nemo, I didn't get that like, I'm going to cry. But WALL-E 3 separate times? That's hard.
Yeah. No, I didn't really get it with Finding Nemo. But yeah, WALL-E, he's just so sad. That's the only...
He's so relatably cute.
Yeah, like...
I can't help
How do you make a robot that fucking cute?
It's
with
so cute.
much Okay.
With so much personality. That was the perfect word.
Okay.
Personality.
That's it. Okay. So I sent you a video maybe a year ago, maybe like 6 months ago. And it was...
Your time is so...
I don't... It was
a
like...
year to 6 months.
Only because this... I don't know. Ever since the whole fucking pandemic thing
I know.
it's impossible to fucking judge time anymore. It's one of those weird things.
When you work at home especially.
Oh my God. It's fantastic, but awful. But anyway, I sent you a video.
He only knows it's Tuesday because I'm here.
It's true. It's true.
Ash was here yesterday, so it's definitely Wednesday.
I sent you a video, and it was of a box with like a switch on it. And then you clicked the switch, and then a trap door would open and a metal arm would click the switch back. And then the box would shut. Remember this?
Yeah.
And then...
On YouTube, it's called like The Unnecessary Box or something.
Yeah, and it's...
Check it out. It's only like a minute long. Check it out. Yeah.
And it's just like... Because the more you do it...
The more aggravated the arm gets.
Yeah, and the more it becomes, it has like a personality of its own. And I'm like, I remember watching the video, and I think the first thing I sent to you was, I don't think I've ever seen so much personality in literally a metal arm.
And it's an inanimate object.
Yeah, it's just a metal stick. And it's just like, wow, there's so much personality. And that's
all it's doing. It's just turning the switch off because you turned it on. Yeah. And it comes back out and turns it back off. And then it keeps doing that. And it goes faster. And it finds funner ways to do it.
That's why it's kind of the way I feel about WALL-E.
Right.
He's almost an inanimate object. He's like a robot, but
he doesn't really talk.
Doesn't talk at all. Like, except for WALL-E, he's like a fucking Pokemon.
He says Eva, but yeah.
Oh, it's so cute when he says Eva.
Eva. Well, my best friend's dad's name is Wally, so Dylan has heard me go Wally for years and doesn't know what the fuck I'm talking about. But yeah, he watched it. He thought it was cute.
All right. Next to spoilers.
Yeah, we have to go on spoilers.
Spoilers!
Spoilers. Oh, that was different.
Right?
Spoilers.
Let's keep spoiling.
Let's keep spoiling. Spoiling.
I'm going to take a sip of my
Beveragino.
Tasty beverage. Okay.
So, I got things to say.
Let's hear it.
First off, this fascinated me. That Wally's voice is the same guy who did E.T. and R2-D2.
Really?
It was like a group of like mixers, and they like mixed these voices.
I did know that actually, yeah.
How fascinating is that?
Fantastic.
That we already did E.T. And I mean, Star Wars may or may not be
be on this list. Who knows?
If it wasn't, dude, people would be so mad. But like, I found that to be really... Apparently, these mix artists were on Star Wars, Indiana Jones. They were in a bunch of the Pixar movies. I found that fun.
That's fantastic. That's awesome. Finding Nemo's fucking spectacular, right?
I love Finding Nemo.
Like, it's so well written. We were talking about Toy Story in a previous episode and how just well written it is. Like, all the jokes are just like,
Right.
you know what I mean? And like, it's so tight. And I feel like Finding Nemo's even better. Like, I love, like, just, like, fucking, you meet the shark and you're like, oh my god, the shark's gonna fucking eat them. And I love the fact that it's like an AA meeting.
Fish are friends. No, do you have your buddy?
And I love he lifts his fin and there's like this little fish that's just like
Quivering.
like, I think it's so funny. Like
I love that Dory at the very, very, very end is a part of the group.
Yeah, yeah.
The sharks is something with like, remember, fish are friends. And she's like, not food. It's like, what?
Yeah. It's funny. You were talking about, actually, I was thinking about it. Like, there was one moment, actually, that made me feel sad in Finding Nemo, and it was the one at the end when Dory's trying to remember she's trying to prove to Marlin at the very end, after he thinks Nemo died. She's trying to prove to Marlin that she's useful still. And then she's like, see, I remember stuff. And then she's like, P. Sherman, something. And then she's like, it's there, I remember it. And she's trying so hard to remember it. It's so, that's pretty sad. That's a pretty sad moment, but.
And I love that, like, he's like, my name's Nemo. And she's like, Nemo? P. Sherman 42 always saying she remembers.
I do like that. Nemo.
That's a nice name. That's a nice name. Yeah. That was cute. Yeah, so I said this name earlier. I found that really funny. In Finding Nemo, in the early 2000s, they were trying to hire Megan Mullally as one of the voices of the fish.
Okay.
But when she came to do the voice, they found out she doesn't actually have that voice, and they fired her.
No.
So let's have a conversation. Who do you think she was? I personally think it's Deb Flo from The Tank.
Oh, you mean like the...
She's like, this is my sister Flo. Hi, Flo. Because she has that high-pitched voice.
Oh, no. See, I thought of the starfish.
Oh.
She's, I don't know, it sounds like either that or... That's the thing. I don't know if you fire somebody for such a small
Was the fish
voice.
a girl or a guy?
Yeah, the starfish?
It was a girl?
Yeah.
I don't really remember.
She had like a very like... I don't want to say southern accent, but it felt like it was like something out of like fucking Alabama.
Also, what I find about the voices too is that the director, Andrew, he recorded Crush to like fill it in because he couldn't find out who he wanted to like act it out. So he had to say the lines, record them just to fit them in dialogue. And apparently he never actually found anyone good enough, and he just kept his own lines.
I think he's perfect.
Man, like yeah, dude, give me some fin, give me some noggin, dude.
I love it. He's like, let's see what he does riding solo.
I love just the whole turtle. You're right. That whole turtle. I wouldn't say they're Jamaican, but very like
they're
surfer.
Yeah, they're like
that is such a funny. Like at the end, because he's talking to the stingray. He's like, "This is my buddy," whatever the little one's name. It's not Crush. I forget the little one's name. And he's like, Squirt. And he's like, where are you? I'm from the ET or whatever. And he's like, yeah, dude. And the stingray does it.
Yeah, well, it's interesting. You really needed that character, right? That character is really important because you need a character that is, they let their kid, like, make their own mistakes. Do you see what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, the whole point of the story is he's super, super overprotective.
Whenever Crush is like,
he
flies
out.
He does.
And Marlin's the one that's like, "Oh my god!" And he's like, "No, man, like let him see let's see what he does.
Let's see what he does run solo."
Yeah,
right.
Like so, you need. I don't know. It teaches him a lesson, right? And that's important. But there are a lot of really clever action scenes in this movie too. Like they're all chase related, but like.
Oh, the fucking light with the big fish
is
amazing.
That one's good. I think the jellyfish is a good one.
Yeah.
I really like the bird at the end when he's like, jump into my mouth. And he's like, oh yeah, I'm going to jump into your mouth. Yeah. Cause I'd be like, yeah, okay, buddy. Like, yeah.
He's like, I know your son, Nemo.
And then he's like, yeah, you don't know my son. He's like, oh no. He's like, yeah, he's got a gimpy fin. He's like, Nemo. And then that's what sets him off. Yeah.
Has a gimpy fin. Yeah.
That's a pretty sad opening too, where like the mom gets.
So apparently, allegedly, they wanted to actually do it as flashbacks instead.
It works better.
And then you would have found out throughout the movie. But I actually thought it was more, you feel for, if I didn't know what happened, I would just think Marlon is just now an asshole.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, dude, you're just being a dick. Like, let the kid do whatever. But when you watch that whole tragic beginning, you're like, I get it, Marlon. I get you.
Yeah.
Who also, bring back to Fargo, Marlon was supposed to be William H. Gacy or whatever his name is.
William H. Macy?
Macy.
Really?
Yeah.
Albert Brooks? What's his name? Albert Brooks, right?
Yes, the Marlon.
Yeah.
But
he's in a movie that we may or may not see later, and he plays a villain, and he's fucking crazy in the movie. He's not crazy, but he's like super violent. And I remember watching that movie without realizing it was Marlon, and then I read, I'm like, oh my god, that's the guy who plays Marlon.
I only know him from This Is 40. And
he plays the dad.
The dad, and he's always borrowing money.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's who I know him as. Yeah, and then before the creators could be on the movie, they all had to take like courses in school and stuff to learn about underwater. So that was a nice turn.
That's pretty cool.
So they all took biology. Oh, I'm gonna fucking butcher one of these. Oceanography and I can't even try. ICHTHY first. Ology. So it's like
it's itchy at that.
Ichthyology. Yeah, and they had to do scuba diving. Okay. But I found that to be a really nice turn where it was like at least the specks in the water make sense and they knew what color they were and they knew what the corals should be in. Instead of just Googling it, which they could have done.
No, it's true.
At least they did the extra mile, you know.
I don't know why my two favorite characters in this movie, I have no clue why. It's like one of those weird things. I love the two like crabs at the end. And they're hanging on the sewer pipe. They're like, hey, get your own spot. This is my spot. I think it's so funny. Like, and then Nemo pops out and they're like, oh my God, what came out?
Because they're trying to like snap at whatever comes out.
And I love Dory, like, they're like giving Dory shit, and then she like holds him outside the water. He's like, okay, I'll talk.
And the seagulls, mine.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, completely like outlined what seagulls are thinking. That movie showed you like that is really what seagulls look like they're saying. Like, mine. It's like, oh my God, it's so real.
And here's the thing. I don't remember this at all in the movie. Like, I don't remember when I watched this when I was younger. It wasn't until this time watching it. The fact that all of the fish in the aquarium and the bird are obsessed with dentistry. I don't remember that for some reason.
I knew.
Is he using the such and such drill? It's like, well, he's been really favoring that one lately. Like, stuff like
that.
Yeah,
because he smacks in the window and he's like, oh yeah. And he's trying to tell something really important to Nemo. And he's like, what is it today? A root canal? Ooh, that's not good. Wait, no, Nemo. And he gets all excited again.
And there's a fucking hilarious bit when the fish jumps on her face and she's freaking out. And then like the dentist is running around the room, and then it cuts to the kid in the waiting room and he's looking, and the look on his face is so funny.
Because all he hears is screaming and the drill bit going.
And the dentist is like, it's so funny. Funny.
I know exactly what you're talking about. She's relatable to Darla, whatever her name is. Whenever like the shaking bag, like that's real. That's what a kid would wake up, fishy. And she's like shaking the bag.
I love it when she opens the door and the psycho music. It's so perfect. Oh fuck. Anyway, let's talk about WALL-E for a second.
And by the way, that movie's budget was $94. They made $940.
Jesus.
Yeah, they made $900 million on that movie.
Fuck.
That's a lot.
And
anyways.
And they won the Oscar, right? For Best Animated?
I have no idea.
Okay. They probably did. That's okay. Usually Pixar movies do.
They have to win something. That movie was
usually
something special.
Pixar movies usually win.
In the cast, Ellen was...
She's fantastic in it.
She was great. She was the perfect fit for this. Now, I don't know, but back then she was perfect.
Yeah. I love the bit where she's like, oh yeah, the boat went this way. And then she's like, follow me. and they're like going, and then like she's just kind of diddle-daddling, and then she like sees out of the corner of her eye that the guy's following her, and she's like, and then she like,
Starts zigzagging.
I think it's
Why are you following me?
it's a fantastic reveal to the fact that she has short-term memory
My
loss.
family has short-term memory loss. Runs in the family.
Like,
At least
what?
I think it does.
Where
is
are
my
they?
family?
Where are they?
But she's like, can I help you? He's like, are you joking? Yeah, I think they picked the perfect guy. I think
I think they're both.
Albert Brooks was
They're both perfect. Yeah, they're both. Really
Alan
good.
was perfect too. Yeah, that just the idea of how much fun that would be. Like, oh my god, we should write that she has memory loss. How funny would that be?
Even Willem Dafoe as like the
Yeah.
fish of the tank. He's fantastic
Gills.
too. Yeah.
He was Gil.
Yeah, it's funny. I thought his name was Gil, but I didn't want to say that out loud because I'm like, that doesn't sound right. Yeah, his name is Gil. Okay, good.
The angelfish.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
fantastic too. Like, as that like war torn, he's always trying to escape. And I think that's a very funny bit at the very end when they actually execute his like plan.
And then there's in bags.
And
of
it's just-
water.
yeah, it's like actually though, like, what now?
Yeah, because that's what he wanted. And now he's like, what now, Gil? And he's like, I don't know. And they're just floating in their bags. Yeah, one of my favorite scenes of Finding Nemo is whenever he's like, read the mask. And she's like, escape. It's spelled the same as escape. And he's like, you can read? She's like, I can read? Oh my god, she kills me. I love her. Escape. Spelled the same as escape. So stupid. All right, so Finding Nemo carries on, so let's give some love
To Wall-E.
to Wall-E. I love Wall-E.
It's a really good movie. The first, like, yeah, like, I don't know. It's yeah. I think something that's really interesting about this movie is how optimistic it is. Something I was talking about earlier.
About what?
How optimistic it is. Because they kind of say that when humans leave, the air's toxic. Like, you can't survive on Earth. That's what they say, right?
I have no idea.
Yeah, they're like wearing gas masks and stuff in the final broadcast.
Yeah.
So, when and I guess that would make sense too if there's no plants, there's no oxygen, right?
There's no oxygen.
So,
So if we're not making oxygen,
yeah, if we're not making carbon dioxide,
right, then
yeah. So it's like, but the idea that like the Earth will heal itself and stuff, and we could come back, it's kind of a nice little.
After 700 years, by the way.
Which is crazy.
Yeah, so that's what drove me crazy was at the very, very, very end, because we all know they were on the ship for 700 years.
Yeah.
And at the very, very end, they all get off the ship on Earth, and he's like, this is what planting is called, or whatever. They're all walking.
Yeah.
You wouldn't walk.
There
There was one scene when the guy's thing stops, and he's kind of like standing still, and he's wobbling. I'm like, no, you wouldn't have bones.
Yeah.
Which was the whole original idea, was they were supposed to be blobs, which would be realistic. They're unrecognizable as a human.
Yeah.
But they thought that was a little creepy.
That's
for
kind of
children.
crazy. Yeah.
So they had to make them people. But they wouldn't be able to stand. You would have no legs. It's like someone in a coma. Right?
Yeah, that's a good point.
So that was kind of shit. I was like, but it is a kids' movie.
I do
I'll be
think
nice.
actually that every negative thing about Wall-E involves the human characters. Right?
I did not like that whole spin at all. The humans, like, lying on beds with the TVs, and I didn't like that.
They drink everything in milkshakes and
I didn't
stuff.
like that.
It's very realistic. That's what would happen. But I think anything involving robots were fantastic. And I love the idea that the I don't remember the villain's name, the villain robot.
I just watched it. I don't even remember.
Me too. I want to call it Otto, but that's not it.
That sounds close.
Does it?
Yeah.
Okay. Either way, I like the idea that like they actually find a plant and he tries to destroy it, stuff like that. Like, super. It's
because he's like, we can't go back home.
Yeah.
Which makes you think, how many people has he done this to?
Yeah.
There's been 7 captains in 7 years. Because let's say each captain is 100.
Yeah.
Which is unrealistic, but
Yeah, we'll say there's like 10. But yeah, we'll
so
just say
9 different people he's probably stolen that plant from.
probably true. I also, throwing it out there too, I love how Eve, is it Eve or Eva?
It's Eve. It's EVE.
But he calls her Eva.
It's extraterrestrial vegetation evaluator.
Okay.
But it's the way she says it.
Okay.
He thought she said
Eva.
Ava. Yeah, Eva.
Okay. I love how she has a temper. Talking about inanimate objects that have like personality.
Yeah.
She has a straight up temper. One, why the fuck would they give this robot a gun like that? But some of the best jokes involve the gun, just like her getting stuck to the magnet and she like shoots it
off,
and then she destroys the boat because she's so mad that she got stuck to the magnet, and then it like domino affects all the other boats and all of them.
They all catch on fire.
Just stuff like that. Like she's so dangerous. And I love how like he is so not, and like he's trying to take care of her and stuff. Like
he's like following her.
It's so funny.
By the way, the robot's name is just Autopilot.
Oh, so it's Otto. That's what he calls him, Otto.
Isn't that what you said?
Yeah, so I feel good.
Yeah, it is Otto. Well, when you said Otto, I pictured OTTO. But no, you were saying AUTO.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the way this movie was written is, I'm just gonna read this because there's no other way I can explain it. M.O. just finishes cleaning the floor. Wally is fascinated. Whatever. Makes another mark. Oh, he makes another mark. M.O. compulsively cleans it. He can't resist. M.O. bleeps. Look, it stays clean. You got that? Wally wipes the bottom of his tread on M.O.'s face. M.O. loses it. Scrubs his own face. That's how he wrote it. So that when the sound editors would be like, if this thing was pissed off and he said, look, it stays clean. You got it? How would that sound?
Yeah.
That's how they wrote that's why there's so much attitude in the movie. Is because he's like, boop, 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 boop. Like, you got it? Like, when you hear that, I'm like, that makes sense to me. Because that's how the whole movie sounds. Mm-hmm. It's just like, I can feel that, like, you're so right. Just the sassiness and attitude of every robot is different. It's just funny.
Another thing I gotta throw out there, the montage of Wally just alone gathering little trinkets is see, it's funny you think it's sad. I think it's the funniest fucking montage probably in movie
And he has
history.
A lighter, but he didn't know it lights on fire. He just keeps because it's shiny.
My favorite one is the diamond ring. He like sees that ring and he throws the ring and he's like obsessed with the box. He's
Dale
like,
died. He was like, shut up. Oh my God.
The only thing that's funnier than that is the bra. He puts it on his eyes. And he's like, oh. Just stuff like that. Like,
or he gets the spork and he's like looking at the forks and the spoons and he can't figure out where to put it. He's like apparently there are so many scenes in that. There are so many things in that one scene that we're talking about. There's like a Mike Wazowski. There's a Toy Story, and they're all toys in his room that we didn't even notice.
Oh, yeah?
I didn't notice.
Yeah.
Like when he's circulating all of his trinkets, I guess it's in that. And you can see there's the pizza truck is in the movie.
Oh, no shit.
I guess Eve in the very beginning like scans it and sees nothing as she continues.
Okay.
But it's the trunk, the motor is open.
I do love that the captain is obsessed with growing pizza. He's like, look, you can grow things like vegetables and pizza.
You can grow pizza. The poor guy. But how weird would that be? Just, that's what would happen. You're like, what is sky? Wait, what are clouds?
Yeah.
Wait, what is a tree? And you would just keep going. And at the end, he's like, what's dancing? What's music? What? Like,
especially if you've never stood before. Yeah.
Exactly.
Like, yeah. What is solid food? What is
You're just so like, so pizza, that's real. Mm-hmm. You'd be like, and by the way, I didn't like how all the garbage goes in space. That's shitty.
Yeah, that's probably the way it is right now, isn't it?
They just make the big squares and they just push it out of the plane, out of the ship, and they're like, here you go.
I would be surprised if that's legit what happens in the future.
Is that what happens in the spaceships now? That's a good question.
Yeah, definitely. And here's the thing. Earth, like every other thing in space, has gravity. So, like, all of that stuff that gets ejected from ships and stuff is literally just circling.
Well, no, we have two orbits. We have, like, a thinner orbit, which is where the Chinese thing was. And we have an outer one, which will never fall to Earth.
Yeah.
So, it's probably in that one. Like how Saturn has all that shit around it in the ring.
Yeah.
We probably are going to get the same thing going around us.
Okay.
It'll never come down, but
it's still circling.
And it can still hit all of our
Satellites.
all of our space stations, all of our rockets, everything.
Yeah.
I don't know much about space. Don't.
That's literally what the movie... Isn't that what happens in Gravity?
I've never seen it.
Oh.
Sandra Bullock?
Yeah, they're like on a space station, and all of a sudden, like, just a bunch of space debris just shows up and fucking takes them all out.
It can happen. That's scary, man. Scary. Yeah, I love this movie. Oh, Eva gets the plant and she like shuts down and she's like glowing. And Wally thinks she's solar like him, so that's why she brings her up to the top of his thing and he's like showing her to the light, like collect solar so you can wake back up, and she's not solar. I just think that's so sad whenever he's like in the storms and stuff, just waiting for her to wake back up. It's like, oh.
I love that his solar panel too looks like a reflective thing for like sun tanning.
Under his face.
Yeah.
I know. There's a couple of scenes that almost got me. I didn't cry, but almost. And one of them was whenever, oh God, whenever he's like normal and she's like, Wally, like,
yeah.
And then she's like holding his hand and just like staring at him, and she's like, but that's like her goodbye, like a little kiss, and I'm like, I didn't cry, but I was like, oh shit, I'm close. Yeah. I'm gonna cry. It was just, it's realistic.
Yeah, definitely.
It's like, I had to help, he helped us, I had to rebuild him, to help him.
Yeah.
And now he has no idea who I am, and it's just sad. You're like, oh. Yeah, there's a couple of scenes that almost got me. It's so sad. I know whenever he was crushed in that plant thing, I was like, oh my God. He was trying to hold it up. And Otto was like, meh, and squished him. Yeah, Otto's an asshole, by the way.
Yeah, well, he actually reminds me of a movie villain, but I don't want to bring it up because I want to say the movie might be coming up. So,
oh my God.
I don't want to say, because, yeah, I won't bring it up.
It's okay.
So...
Well, we're just...
Trust me when I say I will bring up Wall-E a lot when we watch this other movie, because it reminds me a lot of it. So,
but yeah, I really, really enjoyed. I really think more of these Pixar movies that are towards kids should be showing these kinds of things.
Yeah,
so
I agree.
like Soul did, like, hey, this is death. Like, keep this in mind.
Well, that's the thing, right? They say that, okay, so if you want somebody to learn something, you got to show it to them in a relatable way. Right? If you want, like, somebody who loves, I don't know, like, fucking wrestling, you know what I mean? If you want to teach them something that's really hard, relate it to wrestling.
Right.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you want to teach kids really, really tough, like, lessons, relate it to children's movies. Do you see what I'm saying? Like,
it's true, though, where if your kid wants to litter and you're like, I got a movie for you when you go back home, like, this is real.
Yeah.
Like, no, it's not what's going to happen in your lifetime, but this is what's going to happen.
Definitely.
There's going to be dirt piles as big as skyscrapers. Mm-hmm. And then you never get told where they land, eh? Where Wall-E is.
I assume they land where... Yeah, well, they land where he was, because I'm assuming they land exactly where they found the plant. Because that's where I would land.
Yeah, but it doesn't say what city or what country.
Oh, the city itself?
Like, where are they? It doesn't even say.
I don't know.
And he speaks English, which I found really funny. That of all the languages they would speak, because, oh no, wait, they all have their own captains. There's like 7 captains.
Are there?
Well, there's the one scene where there's like a wall of captains.
Yeah. But no, those are all the captains throughout history.
No, they can't have that many people on just his ship. You would think those would be all the countries. Or not countries, but all the continents, for example. I have not a clue. I'm a little upset that I didn't look that up.
Yeah.
You could think through history. I don't think so.
First of all, the mega store in the opening scene is actually fucking mega, right? It's like a city block. It's like a Walmart, but it's like a city block that, like, Wall-E drives past.
Oh, yeah.
One thing that I noticed I found really interesting, actually, also in the beginning, is there's a bunch of windmills in the garbage.
Yeah.
What was that about?
I don't know.
Do you think
Well, they're not producing any oxygen, obviously.
Yeah. But there's wind.
There's no wind.
But there is wind because there's like the dust cloud at one point.
Okay, so... Okay. This is where shit gets a little complicated. Again, I don't even know what ocean science is called. The movie The Martian, there's that scene.
Yeah.
When that's why he gets deserted, is there's like a storm and everything gets destroyed. Not spoiling anything. It's literally the first 30 seconds of the movie. So I don't think that's caused by gravity or by wind, or I think it's just a natural occurrence of just the planet revolving, and eventually it just kind of catches up. I think.
Okay.
I know someone is yelling at me that I'm wrong, but how can that happen in the movie The Martian, which, by the way, I didn't say this, is on Mars? How can that scene happen?
So apparently...
There's no wind on Mars.
Yeah, well, there's still atmosphere, but apparently that wouldn't happen on Mars. That's like the one thing that the author has come out and said. In real life, the storm wouldn't be that bad. But he needed a way to strand him in the movie The Martian. But there are some planets that are literally just one big storm, right? Like Jupiter is just one gas planet. It's all just one big storm. Like,
so I think we should all do homework later.
Yeah.
And try to see, because I honestly don't think you need wind for that. I think it's just a rotational thing, and I think eventually it all just kind of catches up.
Yeah.
I personally don't know, though. So, because you can't have wind without trees, and you can't, or like, they always say, like, I don't know if it's like a metaphor, but like the butterfly always creates a hurricane.
Yeah.
You have no animals. You have no humans. You have nothing. Nothing to create any sense of vibration.
I'm trying to see, now you're fucking me up. I'm trying to think what creates weather. Like, what does... I assume... Yeah, I just assumed it'd be atmosphere and like gravity and shit, but I don't know. Maybe oxygen would have something to do with it.
If everything is still, what would would create the wind? Nothing.
I don't know.
There's literally nothing to keep it going.
That's a good question.
Or that's what's even worse though, is there's nothing, because it can't keep going, so there's no way it can get stronger, which means the wind that was in that scene was that strong when it started.
Yeah.
Or maybe he just knows because it goes around the world or wherever he is. And it just goes like this, and it keeps... So he knows when it's coming because it does it every day. And it just never ends because there's nowhere to stop it. There's nothing to stop it. There is buildings, I guess. But yeah, I don't know. And that's an also good question is, how was there a plant? It was in a fridge, but there's no condensation.
Yeah, it didn't get any sunlight.
They're getting any sun. Unless, like Jurassic Park, how the famous line Goldblum says, chaos. Science always proved there will always find a way.
Yeah.
It took 700 years, but it found a way.
Yeah.
So
I like to think that they just ended on the most opportune moment, because really 10 seconds later, some big fucking storm happens and kills all those human beings.
The plant?
That kills all the human beings that are now walking for some reason.
You're like, cool, that was great, bye. Well, there's no water.
They're like, look, what is this cloud?
Yeah, literally. But they don't even know that's what it's called.
Yeah.
So they're like, what's this? Yeah, they're all excited. Earth is fun. There's no water. There's nothing, right? So you got to think about that. They can't even live there. I love how optimistic they are.
Yeah.
But there's no water. What are you going to do?
Yeah, it definitely needed a little more time. Although there was, I think when they landed, there was like, over the hill, there was a shitload of vegetation and stuff, wasn't there? Man, I could be wrong. I swear it was like one of the final shots of the movie.
Oh, you're fucking me up.
I could be wrong though.
I don't know. I don't think so, but maybe. Yeah, anyways, I loved Wally. I really do. I think he's so cute.
Oh, he's adorable.
He's so cute. Wally. And I love the idea of rogue robots. That was cute. At the end. And they all saved him. And I was like, oh, you go, Rogue Wall. One of them was like doing the makeup.
I love the makeup
robot.
one. It's like, look at you. You look beautiful.
Yeah, we just did the same thing. The makeup. Yeah. That suits you perfectly. Yeah. It's like, oh, Lord.
I love it. The one scene where like the one girl's actually getting her makeup done and the robot's doing it. But like, the robot's just saying generic things that a hairdresser would say. It's like, oh, don't you listen to him? And like, oh, don't you, oh, tell me
This
about
fits you perfectly.
Yeah, don't tell me about your kids. When you do it, like, it's like so funny. Like,
It's so true. I talk about the most generic shit when I'm at work.
yeah. No, I like Wall-E a lot. I think it's a good movie. This one was a toss-up. In all honesty, I could have went either way. So, Finding Nemo was fucking awesome.
We do. My top 3 are Finding Nemo, Wall-E, and Monsters Inc. So you caught 2 of the 3.
Yeah.
So you did very, very good with this matchup. This matchup was awesome.
Nice. Cool. Got anything else to say?
So I think that's it. Thank you for this matchup. This was so much fun.
No problem. This is a
Thank
fun
you,
one to watch,
everyone,
too.
for listening, because I know this episode was longer than normal.
This episode justified my Disney Plus subscription, so that was kind of nice.
Yeah, all that money spent went into this one episode. Thank you very much, guys, for listening. And sorry, Wall-E. Honestly, I'm actually really sad, Wall-E.
Yeah.
I get to go. And Finding Nemo, obviously, carries on.
Bye,
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 bye, bye,
bye, bye.
bye, 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 bye,
Bye, bye.
bye, bye, birdie.